can talk about anything we want, Shane. It doesn't really matter if we look at the camera or look at each other.
I think I'm gonna go.
All right, then, I'll just stick to this then. It doesn't matter what if you actually block it, as long as I get the 10 minutes out of this. So, so we have someone watching this then. Actually, I have the key to the house. Yeah. Still don't know how to start these. As someone that will probably watch this when it's on YouTube for a while, will see the person my brother just left. He was going to help out, then just decided not to. Well, he can help me in other ways. I don't know. I don't know if he'll even watch this. So yeah, the only thing on my mind that's coming out of my mind is the coronavirus at the moment. That's serious. We're not. I'm living in Ireland. So we're not on full lockdown, but schools and BIM and a lot of businesses that have over 100 people inside either closed, and anyone that has gatherings outside of over 100 people, that they have been cancelled. So yeah, I'm not overly paranoid that I'll get it, but I'm taking precautions to make sure that I don't. But I don't know what to even, how much to talk about this, because I know enough to have a conversation with the person in front of me, but I don't know what to say because I'm not talking to a physical person. I'm just talking into a camera and a microphone. Then I'm not doing any tests and see if this is actually recording every time. I'm just hoping, because fuck listening to my voice. I know I know everyone hates their voice. I particularly hate my voice. So that's why I'm streaming and not recording and editing videos. Fuck that shite. Thankfully, I pressed the button that this isn't for kids. Even though I'm not a US citizen, but I understand that YouTube has to look after laws in most, if not all, of the countries it's in, so I have to abide by this law anyway. Anything else? I'm watching the TV series Avatar: The Last Airbender, which, when it was originally aired in the UK and Ireland, it was called The Legend of Aang. And I didn't see that Last Airbender movie. Didn't hear good things about it, but I don't know whether it's good or bad on my own personal experience. But based on what I saw, it's terrible. So, and I'm rewatching Agresco. As far as I'm aware, season 3 is coming out with in the summer, but I haven't heard anything specific. I don't know for sure if it's coming out this summer. Just a general idea that it is. I love that. For anyone wondering, that's the dubbed I'm watching on Netflix. Not that it matters if I watch dubbed or subbed. I watched a few anime subbed. I watched them dubbed. I think Netflix is releasing a lot of them dubbed now. Definitely the ones that they're producing themselves, they're dubbing anyway. And I know they got a few shows in dubbed as well, like The Seven Deadly Sins and Space Dandy. I cannot recommend Space Dandy enough. For anyone that want, I know there's only one person, but I'm assuming that eventually more people will be joining in as I upload more videos. But for anyone that wants to know what Space Sandy is it's a journey with a dumb idiot, a Roomba, and a space cat. And there is technically a plot over the 2 seasons because there's only 2 seasons. It doesn't for me. It doesn't really matter how many seasons something has, as long as they're good. I would gladly watch 1 or 2 seasons of good show than seeing 50 episodes of a terrible show. Or, but there is a plot to it, but you would have to look fairly closely to actually see it. I didn't actually notice that how much of that there was a plot until the last episode, because you have to look really closely because each episode is mostly standalone. And this live stream is actually going much faster than the first one. So yeah, but I seriously, I cannot, I can't tell you what happens in. I'll tell you how the first episode ends, but I won't go into any detail about on the other episodes. The first episode of Space Dandy ends by them being chased by monsters on the planet. They're stuck, so they cause a supernova explosion that Space Dandy didn't think long enough about, and they end up dying in it. The next episode, they're back to normal as if nothing happened. Like, I'd be struggling to talk much more about it, but at the same time, if there was a actual person here, even if they weren't interested in anime, I could talk for at least another 5 minutes about it if I really want to. Maybe less dependent, but on the person, but I would definitely talk for a while. Another good show is House of Cards, although Kevin Spacey kind of fucked himself over by doing all the stuff beforehand and most likely John. So I recommend House of Cards, but fuck Kevin Spacey. Like he's good in it, but it's short. Now the last say 2 seasons, I think the last season in Pacific, because they had to rush everything to make it work after he was arrested and everything. They had to rush it, I think. But the last 2 seasons weren't great. But the first few seasons were good. The last season in particular was terrible, and to see, I can't even remember off the top of my head. I think it's something like 6 seasons. I think season 5. It's okay, watchable, but yeah. But on a whole, it's a very good show. But then kind of trailed off. I think they just had to rush out the last season so that they wouldn't lose too much money on it. Like, I'm trying to think now. A good movie that I saw recently. What I'm trying to think now. The last good movie I saw was Spirited Away. Actually, I rewatched that. I've only seen 2 Studio Ghibli movies, so I can't speak on every single movie. But I've seen Spirited Away and My Neighbor Totoro. I'm probably pronouncing Totoro wrong because A, I'm not Japanese. B, don't speak Japanese. C, I have an accent, so that's affecting it. and B, well, I don't know if I grew out of it or not. But at least when I was younger, I don't know about now. I had dyspraxia, which is similar to the dyslexia, but it also affects motor skills. As far as I haven't been tested recently or anything. For all I know, I could be cured, but that may or may not be affecting this. I don't know. But but those two are very good. Like they're weird and stuff, and I hear Studio Ghibli movies or Ghibli or whatever. I think from what I heard, they're weird in general, but they're all so good. No, I haven't been keeping up with the MCU lately. I hope to actually get back into it when Disney Plus comes to Ireland. Later, I think the 24th, about the 24th of March, anyway. So, um, um, uh, it's actually a lot easier to talk for the second stream than it was for the first, and it's only second stream. And I think it's only going well. Hopefully, unless something happens that prevents me from doing this, which early days I hope not. But by the looks of it, I'll only get no. I'm only assuming this of two episodes, but by the looks of it, it will get easier to talk. Even though there's only one person listening, so and I don't know what your thoughts are. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to work out an actual proper schedule because I'm hoping to do. Didn't get a chance to do this yesterday because this isn't actually my house. So depending on weather and if I can get it's close enough that I could probably walk down here and do it anyway, but depending on on circumstances and if I can lift because I don't drive myself. But depending on the situation, I hope to do this on a Monday at the very least, and around 12 o'clock, if not at 12 o'clock. And I know today's it's actually Paddy's Day today when I'm recording this. Not a very exciting one, unless you count the coronavirus as exciting. But I'm recording this on Patrick's Day, which is a Tuesday in 2020. And I know it's before 12, but hopefully I'll be able to try to do it at least on a Monday at 12 or around 12. I'll try to keep that as consistent as possible. I'll try to do it on a Wednesday as consistently as I can, but make no promises about Wednesdays. But I'll do that at around 12 as well if I can. I make no promises about Tuesday if I'll even stream at all, but I'll do my best to stream, but my dad might need hand with the farm on a Tuesday, so I can't promise, and they'll try to do it at around 12 o'clock. If I can stream at all, I'll stream. But depending on what time he needs me and how long he needs me and my own mood, and like now the gym I go to, Ben Dungeons, that will be closed in the next few weeks, so there'll be no way conflict with time there. But I'm assuming when everything's back to not assuming everything's back to at least a normal other than this coronavirus, that will probably conflict a little bit, maybe. I'll walk around the best I can, but um, I don't know if um, I don't even know if many people will be watching this in the future or anything. I might actually try to back this up, just so that even if it'll never be on YouTube again, just for myself, I'll try to back this up. I might actually back up the first episode as well, just because I don't. I know that I'm a small channel because I only have one subscriber, which is me from a different account. But I know that YouTube isn't like I know it can affect bigger YouTube channels, but even them are at the whim of YouTube, depending. Like if a video is deleted, they should be able to get it back relatively easy, like not stress free or anything, but relatively easy. At least easier than if it happened to me, because all I can do is just hope, and I can do the process as properly as I can, but I know that if it's just gone and they don't want to do it, um, so sure, I might as well try to go for at least 20 minutes anyway, because I know watch time is very important for YouTube. Like, like if I notice that people don't watch more than 20 minutes of something, might cut down to between 10 to 15 minutes at most. But but this is an experimental phase of it where I don't know exactly. Well, I have a fair idea of what to do, thing things have changed so much over the years by just watching it that I won't know for certain what works for me until I start doing this regularly and if I get a big enough audience. Assuming I get a big enough audience, I'll probably do this. I make no guarantees I'll do this in a year, but the plan is to do it for as long as I can anyway. Now, if I get paid, that will obviously affect how the channel is run, mm, for the time being anyway, things could change at any time. But for the time being, I'm just going with the flow. Yeah, so the thumbnail will be a bit of a lie to people in the future. And if more people decide to look at the stream, it'll be a bit clickbaity. Like I'm not famous enough for people to be particularly looking for me anyway. So I still only have the one person there. Well, when this is live, I only have the one person. I'm assuming I'll get at least a handful of views, at most three, maybe four, in the near future. Uh, I'm assuming that I didn't know. I'm not continuously looking at that number, so I'm assuming it's the same person that was here since roughly the start. So, thank you anyway, regardless. And if to the person who left, if they did leave, thank you. Uh, it's actually strange speaking out loud to no one in particular. Like I might say something out loud, passing to myself, but there'd be only one or two sentences. But usually it's just in my head if there's no one in the house with me. So, so this is. Uh, I imagine that it's almost easier with at least an audience that comments, if not with an actual physical person. Uh, I'm sure I'll be getting the question anyway, and I'll explain it again if and when more people come. But for anyone that's watching this video, the reason I have the blinds pulled, not that I have a particular fear of it happening at the moment, but the reason the blinds are pulled is so that no one finds out where I am. And like, I know that I'm assuming that most of you are sane enough not to make me uncomfortable, but I'm going on the assumption that there are some weirdos that will find where I am based on the smallest details, because I've seen it happen to LeBeouf. He had flight patterns. So, yeah, now, I have no particular fear of them hacking because for the time being, I have nothing apart from this YouTube channel. I haven't, which even at this moment isn't very important, and that's the most important thing I have on the computer. I haven't put any banking details on it or anything. Now, I'm sure that there's a way to do it, but I'm conscious enough that anything major shouldn't be hacked on for me anyway. I'm sure it's a possibility that they'll somehow do it, but as far as I'm aware, it doesn't. um, As far as I'm aware, I'd be able to at least fight it. And I'm amazed at how much easier this is. Like the last one, while I was able to get to 16 minutes easy enough, I'm already at 22 minutes, and then it's so much easier for the second one. Uh, but yeah, I'm actually struggling to think of much more to think. Well, one time doesn't really matter, but I'll try to make this as interesting as I can anyway. Oh, screw it. Let's try to, like, if I decide to do it before the half an hour goes, fair enough. But let's see if I can get it to half an hour. I'll actually look up something to talk about. So I'll just keep talking so that it'll seem so that you'll be engaged as much as possible, but don't expect too much from this. Uh, Here in Momo, just seeing that on the phone here now, more and more reports saying that the PlayStation and the Xbox also will more likely than not be delayed, or even if they're not, very limited supply. Uh, Not that I'm particularly concerned about the Xbox. Like my brother owned one for a while. I played it a little bit, but I have no attachment to Xbox. I grew up with the PlayStation and the Game Boy, like Nintendo and so on. The PlayStation is what I think we might have had in a time when I was very young, but I have no attachments to any, like, and even at PlayStation and Nintendo, I don't like love the company. They can do whatever they want. Like I hope they don't do anything horrible, and I do like a good few of the things they released, but I have no particular loyalty to them. Like I might turn around and get the Xbox. I think it's called the Series X. I have no idea why they're naming, like, not that it matters. The games themselves are the important thing, not the name of the console. But Microsoft are making very weird decisions naming the consoles. I, Not that I have, and Not that I have a particular fondness of them. Like I don't even. One company that I did get a fondness for later. I only played one game on their console, like about 3 years ago. It's Sega, and actually, but it didn't come to Ireland and the rest of the Western cultures till 2017 is Yakuza Zero, baby. I love that game. One of my favorite games. The other one being The Last of Us. But on a whole, I like stupid kind of stuff, like stupid movies, stupid TV shows, stupid video games. They're the most fun in general. Um, and by fucking god, is Yakuza Zero a stupid game? Like the main story, while over the top, is taken fairly seriously. But the bullshit you can do outside the story is great. Like you can fish for sharks, you can have dance battles. There's actually a side. There's actually two games within this game where one character you play as two characters in it. Kazuma Kiru. I definitely pronouncing that wrong. And Goro Majima. And Kiro has a real estate firm that he manages, and it mostly requires you to buy businesses and beating the shit out of people. Like I'm pretty sure most real estate agents don't beat the shit out of people, and even though the people that do that, they don't kick as much ass as Kazuma Kiryu. And Goromashima runs a cabinet club, which is super fun. But I'll tell you the most bullshit, which is with Kazuma, where most of the businesses you just buy straight out, providing you had the money. But a handful of businesses you have to become friends with the receptionists or whatever, with the exception of the the street racer or whatever, street fighter. The character's name is. But that's a mini game where you play miniature cars, and as long as you win, you build friends with him. But with a few of the businesses, you become friends with them and then acquire the business. But one business you acquire by friendship is the bowling alley. And what you do is you bowl for a while, and while the receptionist looks at your ass, basically, because she has a fetish for it, which is weird, but that's not the weirdest part. There's a Pacific section in it where you have to bowl a turkey, which is 3 strikes in a row, and you're supposed to win a turkey for it. However, when you do that, you end up winning a live chicken, and the receptionist then goes, "Oh, sorry for the mix-up. We didn't clarify when we were ordering. I can just kill it in the kitchen if you like." Then Kazuma goes, "Hold on a second," looks at the chicken, and then he becomes a manager in your real estate business. And not only does he become a real estate manager, he's actually not a bad one. Like there's worse managers that you get by playing by doing side missions. It's called side quests in the game. Like you also get advisors and security people this way, and one of your advisors, I am not joking, is a parody of Michael Jackson called Miracle Johnson. Oh my god, this game is great. And for Majima, it's the same. Well, it's slightly different because you can hire more people through shrines, but you also hire people with side quests like the granny. You do a side quest where this old granny keeps cutting you in line for a stand for food, a Japanese food. I can't remember what exact. Well, I'm assuming Japanese food because most of the food that you buy in the game. Because yes, you eat food at restaurants. Like you only see the back of the character, but you eat food. But you don't eat food at this particular place. It's only there for this side mission. But this old woman keep you go to a twice and she cuts a line. Then when you're walking past a third time, you see her cutting the line in front of another lad who turns out to be a yakuza who has a knife who's about to stab her, and you save her, and then she joins your cabinet club. Like, okay then. Uh, I think I'm just going to end it. I might experiment with going longer if I can in the future, just to see engagement kind of if and when this channel becomes popular. But I think I'm just going to end it kind of now and figure out more stuff because at the last video I added two kind of screens, but I didn't one for subscribing, which was around here. I don't know if this will be flipped. If it is, then I'll point here just in case for subscribing, and then here or here I don't know where. I don't think I'm even here or here will be a video, but I haven't uploaded a video yet, so I'll have to see how to do that once this video is uploaded to Cap. Like even if it only shows the news video, just to figure out this, because I still have no idea. Well, I have an educated guess of what I'm doing, but I have no idea of what exactly I'm doing because I don't usually watch live streams myself. I'm only doing live streams myself because fuck editing this. Like I can easily do these in half an hour, a bit longer than this because logging in and then putting in tags and that, so it'll be closer to an hour, but I can easily find these out in a day. Like if I realistically, I could do this for an hour, stop it, get something to eat, then pop back on, do a second one, get something else to eat, and then do a third. Like even if I won't get too much money from while I'm doing them, long term it would actually be beneficial. Like I'm in a position where if I do it, it'll be more experimental to see how it affects it as I get more, and and it'd be more of a trial run to see if I can do it and what it takes. But actually, I'm going on much longer than planned. Originally, I was going to do this for at most 20 minutes, and now it's nearly 40 minutes. Just thinking. I think I'll just end it now because just for my own experiment, just to experiment, because I have no real idea how the channel would change. Because believe it or not, most channels, even if it's mostly the same, most channels change over time. Like take Fact Fiend, for instance, with Carl Smallwood to give it the full YouTube channel name. That is mostly the same, But you can notice a change from the first episode to what they do now, in that A, they have more editors and more people to talk to. Well, Carl has more people to talk to. While Brad is still with the channel, he's not behind the camera. Now that might change again, but originally it was just him. Now it's a few different people, and Brad's just editing. Now I'm sure this will be out of date at some point, but at this time anyway, they have more editors and it's not exactly the same, but this general formula is still the same, but you can notice the change. Like they have better equipment, and and it feels more well. Like obviously the fact that they're doing it live. Do you know what? I'm not going to talk anymore. I'm just going to end it. I'm just going to say bye.